Hello, Finny. It's been a long day.
I'm so tired. Please excuse my tiredness.
It's all good. This seems like the trip is the trip of the tiredness.
Oh, yeah.
So, I was just kind of reviewing through some things, and you got here a day before us since we were...
Yes, I did.
Flights were delayed and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you can kind of tell us why you think you're special that you can't come with us.
More like I was put at the brink of utter chaos.
So tell us a little bit what happened.
So what happened was I was packing for Hong Kong or Asia the whole trip at my house because I wanted to go home a couple days early since I didn't need to be there for graduation. Sorry, I didn't see you graduate. But
tear down my face.
But so I was at home and I was packing and I got word that my flight was delayed. My flight from Oakland to LAX where I was going to meet everyone was delayed. And started freaking out about it because I didn't know if I would actually make the Hong Kong flight. But then Elena called me out of nowhere and was like, so our flight is delayed 3 hours, so we're not going to make the flight to Hong Kong. But we'll see what's going on. So I told her that I would call her once I got to LA, just to see where they were at or what I was supposed to do.
Oh, okay.
So that was my morning with packing.
Ugh.
And then on the way to the airport, I found out my cell phone did not work. And I went to Walmart and I was like, being the Asian, stingy, cheap person I am, I was like, I'm not gonna buy another cell phone. Whatever, it will work. I will make it work. So,
use your ingenuity, your engineering skills.
Yeah. So, because of that, Murphy's Law dictated that it wasn't gonna work when I turned it on. And therefore, I did not get any instructions of what I was supposed to do. The last that I heard was that you guys weren't gonna make the trip.
Yeah.
And that I had to travel with Dr. Allen's daughter. No name was supplied to me or what she looked like. Just a telephone number and a text that I could not receive because my phone did not work.
Oh gosh.
So this is where the freaking out started, was when I was in the Oakland airport and I stumbled upon this free internet kiosk and I used it to go on Facebook and I sent out a frantic message to Morgan, Elena, and James, who all didn't look at their Facebooks.
Yeah, I looked at my Facebook when I was in Hong Kong and you were in the room. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, it was said something to the effect of, so my cell phone's dead, I have no idea if I should get on the flight to Hong Kong, please help me, and I will check my email later. And there was no email to be found later. But that's ahead of myself. I got to LAX and I really thought that Dr. Russell was there because I heard that he was also going to be in Hong Kong with me and Dr. Allen's daughter. And so I went up to the desk. Oh, well, first I walked like 1.5 miles with my stuff to the international terminal because I was too stubborn to go take a bus because I thought it would be a lot faster for me to walk rather than wait for a bus. I don't understand.
It's okay. When people are stressed, they do crazy things. I don't know what it is about airports too. They make them like 25 miles big.
Yeah, no, I seriously walked for days and it was like sweaty and it was hot, and then there's like these flight attendants who didn't really speak English, but they're like, are you going to Africa? You sign in here. And I'm like, no, I'm going to Asia. I just need to go to Asia. And so it was like real bad. But so then I got to the international terminal and I got up to the check-in counter. It was like a good thing I fell in line because it was about 2.5 hours before my flight, or our flight. And so I went up there and I was like, I don't know if I should check in because I don't know anyone on this flight and I don't know if they're gonna make it. And she's like, oh, so you're from that group who got delayed. It's like, yeah, but I came on different flights, so is there any way you can look up my professor, Dr. Russell? And she's like, well, we're really not supposed to. But she did it anyways.
Oh, you just know how to convince people, don't you?
She was really nice because I was practically crying in front of her. And she didn't find any record of him. And I was like immediately scared. And so she was like, okay, you just check your stuff in and go to the gate and just see if you see anyone there. And then if you don't get on the flight, it's fine. It'll just cost extra for you to go on the next one now, which is at 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever. So I was like, okay, fine. Maybe they'll show up by then. But so I went through security, I went through everything, and I was still freaking out. And I was like, maybe my friends Morgan, Elena, and James check their Facebooks. No.
Some friends, right?
Some friends. So good thing I went on Gmail because I had set up my Gmail to transcribe my voicemails. And Dr. Allen had called me, and his daughter, which I found out her name was Beth, she called me. And so I found a payphone and I called her 10 minutes before our flight was supposed to board. And I was like, okay, where are you at? And she's like, oh, I'm by the desk. And so we met up right before we got on the plane. And I was like, I felt 10 times better because, like, I knew someone going to Hong Kong with me that I was supposed to be with, you know? And so, but, like, once we got on the plane, we were immediately separated because we were, like, there's supposed to be all these people that were supposed to be on the same flight with us that I knew, but they did not make it. So it was fine, but we got to Hong Kong about 5 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was
your
adventure.
grand
I don't know.
hectic something.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely not going to jump on that flight by myself. I told myself that I was definitely not going to, like, step into Hong Kong without anyone I knew.
Oh, that'd be so scary. Like, you're halfway across the world and alone.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were going to meet someone there or what we were supposed to be doing. All I knew was that there was this group that was supposed to be with me and an itinerary, which neither of them were with me. So.
Fun stuff. Well, let's take a look now at what you did during your free day while we were stuck in the airport living like bums.
Yeah, I'm not jealous about that. So yeah.
Okay then.
Talking.
Oh, let's end this awkward interview already.
Okay.
So, we're looking at your slideshow here.
All right. So when Dr. Russell met up with Beth and I at the airport, we decided that we were gonna follow the itinerary one of us had, and do everything that we were supposed to do that day in Hong Kong. So we got to the secondary school, the
Taipo Samyuk.
Yeah.
Samyuk.
We got there and they were so nice. Like, we took showers and then they gave us some food, and so then we decided to take the MTR to our first destination, which is the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. And at the Hong Kong Stock Exchange,
Hong Kong Stock Exchange.
We had this like awesome tour because they still expected all of us to be there, and apparently we were a little late because the times on our itinerary was like they weren't correct, but it was whatever.
Well, that's convenient.
Yeah, it was really odd. So we were really worried about being everywhere early or whatever. But so we over at the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, they showed us the floor and that just sounds weird.
Hey, look, floor.
They showed us the area where the
the trading grounds.
There you go. See, I did not understand what they were really saying. I probably should have taken a class.
Taken some notes and taken a class.
Taken some terms on it. But otherwise, it was great. He really explained the system they used to use before they had computers, of how people bought and sold stocks through their brokers and stuff like that. And then after that, we went out to some random lunch spot, and then we went and visited the Adventist hospital.
Oh.
And it was actually really awesome. It was a really small building, but they were able to fit so many things in there, and they had state-of-the-art equipment.
Of course.
Like they had the cyberknife.
Cyberknife. Whoa.
Yeah, the cyberknife is used as a robot to cut out tumors.
Oh yeah, they I don't know, somehow look at the hands in 3D and the physician moves his hands and then the robot copies it.
Yeah. So they had that.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
It was actually pretty awesome. And so after that, that's already halfway into our day. We decided to continue up the mountain to the peak. And you went to the peak.
Yes, I did.
Took the peak. Oh, I forgot the mammoth.
Yes,
Okay.
Which is what we've been looking at this whole time. Kind of. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look like the stock exchange. There's no mammoth in the stock exchange.
Okay, well, right
folks.
after the stock exchange, we ran into the mammoth exhibit, and I know that Dr. Allen was so excited about it. But it wasn't staying there for a really long time, so there wasn't another opportunity to go to it. But they had uncovered this mammoth.
Where did they uncover it?
Siberia?
Siberia, of course. That's where the prisoners and the crazy people and the mammoths are.
Yeah. So I mean, it still had hair, which is weird. and stuff like that. But it was actually pretty cool because we saw we were just looking around and there was a lot of people there. And then they had a mannequin in a hazmat suit that is really cool because for disaster management and terrorism at Union, we had to dress up in these suits. And so I took a picture with
You
it.
IRR people always prepared for everything.
I know, right?
You're gonna be
yeah.
you're like the Twinkies and the cockroaches and the IRR people. Not in a derogatory way at all. That sounded kind of.
Sure.
Ow! Okay, she didn't really hit me.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, but by the way, that is a Class C hazmat suit, I think.
Ooh, Class C. That is excellent. I have no idea.
I don't know, really. I just know you should wear it. Anyways,
cool.
And so touring Central, there's a lot of really cool things there, and I ran into an Apple store, which was so awesome because it was humongous.
Yeah, I like Gala apples. They're pretty tasty.
No, Apple company apple.
Oh.
And they had a glass staircase, and I really wanted to go in, but we were running out of time because we had to go to the hospital.
Oh man, see, we walked past that the next day or whatever, and I wanted to go in too, but we never.
There were so many people in it.
Yeah.
Always short for time.
Yep.
So then we went to the hospital, which I already talked about, and then we went to the peak, and we saw these beautiful views.
Oh yeah.
So fantastic.
Lush forage.
And we just looked around there, took a lot of pictures, and then we went to this little gazebo thing and took more pictures of the peak.
Gazebo.
Yeah. And there was cool statues around there, so it was pretty awesome. And I took a lot of pictures of the city.
Yeah.
And then we were way too tired to take the bus down, so we took the tram. And the tram was a little scary, let me tell you, because it goes super fast.
Is that the hanging one?
Yeah, it runs on cables and it uses gravity to take you down.
Cable cars, cool. Well, not sure what happened to the rest of our audio file, but unfortunately our lovely interview with Fini is over, so I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the story, what happened to the rest of our group, aka Fini. while we were laid over. But thank you for listening and watching, and peace out. I'm done.